Hello friends. So in my earlier video for BDC that I recorded yesterday and I uploaded it in the channel. So YouTube channel, you can go to the website. From there you can navigate to the YouTube channel. You'll get the links here actually. So the last one, BDC part 1 day 17. If you click this, it will take you to that particular video. So in that video what we did.
Or even
So in that video what we did. We tried to create a sample customer first using the transaction xt01, and then what we did a recording for the same transaction so that we can use the backend code which was generated due to that recording in a program which should be used during the cutover phase of my data migration activity during a go live project. So it's like I'll be uploading a lot of customers in my production system. So we will create a program in dev, we will do it, test it in quality, but then once everything goes fine, it has to run in production without any errors so that all the customers can be uploaded in one shot. So normally I have mentioned already about cutover activities. So what happens? Cutover activities will be done during the off or non-peak times, which means when there is no load on the server. So which is something like it's like night shift. So if it's India, so it's Indian night shift. If it's US, so US night shift. So it's like off timings, non-peak timings, when there is no load on the server or very few jobs are running in the backend. So that time these cutover activity related programs will be triggered in foreground, background, whatever, based on the requirement. Obviously, before that, business team or business users will formalize the data in a particular format or in a format given by you. So we are going to look into that as well. Okay, so if for anyone for whom I'm sounding strange, please go through my earlier video BDC part 1, which I just showed on my website. So would request you to go through that video so that you can just catch up what I'm going to explain in this one. So you have the flexibility. It's recorded and it's put in there forever. So this is the program which got generated through SHDB, and this is an outcome of the recording. Now, yesterday, so G-test BDC. Let's remember this for now. If I'm going back, if I hit on display, I explained something. So program, screen number, screen beginning, starting ID, which means field name, field value. So this is the structure of a BDC data. So BDC data is a standard structure created by SAP, which is actually referred here. Referred here in this one. So this is a very pet IBM interview question if you are going there as a 3 years experience candidate. So, but obviously things might vary. So program, Dyn Pro means screen number, program means which program is that, Dyn begin means so where exactly the screen is starting, field name, field value. So we'll just come out of it. So what I said yesterday that once we have the program which was generated because of the recording, that is Z-test BDC. So we will not touch that program. You'll see people modifying this program itself. What I did, I created a simple program in temp mode, temp package. So now I'll create a new program. And why I'm doing that? Because it will look better, it will be more clean. I can have all my coding standards followed in the program. So I'm going to SET. In between I'll be referring one of the web links and then of the existing program created long back, so that because I also tend to forget few things. And BDC, I mean, slowly it's becoming a classical concept, not being used so frequently because of the BAPI is coming into picture. So BAPI anyway, after BDC we will come to BAPI. G test program underscore BDC. Yes. So this is a familiar step to you. Till now I didn't do anything new. Open this, and then few people might be wondering that what all these include. So this will come into picture when we are working on module 2 program, which means we are designing our own stream. So we will do it out. I mean, it will take a lot of time before we reach there. So created this. Due to huge work pressure these days, I'm not getting that much time. So I wanted to finish this yesterday itself, but then I'm doing it today. So it's like I'll be uploading videos in kind of part 1, part 2, so that I mean, you can just take your time and finish both the parts. So today my target is to showcase a very simple BDC program, and then tomorrow we will take it to the advanced level. Okay, so this is the program generated because of the recording. So if you see what all things we have entered here, by looking carefully you can easily identify. This is BUKRS, that is the company code. This is KTOKD, that is the account group. And then these two things we entered on the first screen. You are already aware of the external and internal number range concept. I am not going to repeat it again. Okay, next screen we entered Mr., that is the salutation, name, street, city, zip code, country. So these things we entered, language, and then we hit on save button. So BDC OK code is nothing but the user command. OK code is basically the user command. Then after that we created, so we called xt01 to process. So this is all we did yesterday. So that's all we did. So what we are going to do today is we are going to create a program for this. But before that, don't you think that we should have an Excel sheet which will have the details of my customers, different customers, which can be uploaded in one shot, and then multiple customers can be created out of it. So what we will do, go to desktop, and we will design an Excel sheet which is similar to the program. Normally what happens, our program would be similar to the Excel sheet, but then this is our first example, so let it go like this. This sounds good. It's a sample sheet for xt01. Let's go inside. Okay, we'll go to our sample program to get the kind of data. First one is BUKRS, so it's like company code. Next one is account group. Next one is salutation. Next one is salutation, then name. Next one is street. Next one is city. Next one is country. Next one is city. So then we have zip code. then we have country, zip code, pin code, whatever way you want to call it. So these are the things we are passing as an input to the transaction xt01, so that it can create a customer. So I can create multiple customers for my company code 1000 and my account group ZAG1. It won't be a problem. So 1000, let's do it for 5 times. Account group ZAG1. Salutation. Okay, salutation is something I think we are selecting it. Let's just have a look whether we are selecting it from a drop down or we are passing it manually. Name ABC DEF IGH TTL DTL MNO. No. Straight face something. Houston, Dallas, Vegas, Delhi, Mumbai. Zip 1 2 3 4 5 1 1 1. Something like this. Country should be US, let's say. So this is a sample Excel sheet, let's say we received from the business, and then we want to upload all this data in the production system. So we'll keep this on our desktop for now, on our desktop, which means we are keeping it on the application server. So that sheet is lying here. So when I'm creating a program, my first target is that in the program user should go and select that particular sheet. It's like by browsing it from the desktop or the application server for no desktop. So I need to do that. So I have opened the link so that I can just refer the code directly instead of putting pressure on my mind. So here you can see that parameter p underscore file, type this, and then there is a default file name. RL grep is basically a standard structure provided by SAP to store the details of a file. So these things we will simply go and copy paste. No need to think. It's a standard structure created by SAP. File mode, file name. So these details will be there. So all the details related to the file. So we are just referring this so that we don't need to declare it externally. So p underscore file type this is one thing. Then at selection screen we need to create a browser kind of thing. Now so I'm not giving any default value, so my selection screen would remain blank. That is the only difference. So this is my parameter. One second. Go to selection text, give this parameter name, put it from the dictionary itself. So file name will come here. Now if you remember this events which we discussed during reporting, add selection screen on value request for p underscore file. So I hope you guys remember that. So what we need to do, we will simply, we can put a perform and then write our code, or we can directly call a function f4 underscore file name. So now you can see that we have this F4 symbol here. If I do an F4, so this function module would be called and you will get that browse kind of pop-up which you normally get during your web pages while you're trying to upload anything. So we'll just wait for a few seconds because a lot of things which are being called for the first time, so system will put that in the buffer. So now you can see this looks good. So I didn't do anything. I mean, SAP has provided it. There are many function modules. We are using just one. So mine is this one. So this way the file would be called here. But then it's doing this alone would not solve the purpose. Next stage, we need to call a function module which can read that Excel sheet, and then it can convert that Excel sheet into an internal table. For that, there is a standard type tool provided by SAP, that is TRUXS. Copy this as it is. Call the function module text convert XLS to SAP. You know what is a function module and all. So just call this function module, and then we need to define few things. IT underscore type is basically referring to this, and then file name is the file name which we just selected here, and upload is basically an internal table which will contain the details of all the fields in the Excel sheet. So we'll do one thing. Let's create an internal table first. This one we will just put a standard thing. And then we will create an internal table. and then we will open our Excel sheet once again. So first we have company code. Company code is nothing but bookers. Next we have account group, that is KTOKD. Next we have salutation, so we need to refer to the field, that is ANRET. So ANRET. Next one is name, so name 1, type name 1. Then we have street, so street is basically Stras, STRAS. So you can refer the fields from the recording itself, because in the standard field they are pushing the custom data. Next one is city, that is ORT01. So please note that till now I didn't do anything special, creating a normal type, and then I'll create an internal table. So city is done, and then we have postal code PST LZ, and then we have land 1, that is the country. Next one is created an internal table. Okay, so our target is to read that Excel sheet and pull the data in this internal table, obviously in this format. So we are expecting 5 records in the internal table. And make sure that whenever you run the program, that Excel sheet should not be opened in front of you, otherwise system would not be able to read it, because it will get a message that this Excel sheet is already being used in a different program or something, like it happens in normal Microsoft. Okay, so the other thing which I wanted to declare is that raw data. So tru access, go inside this, so we want to declare the raw data, and then we are passing the file name here, and then converted data will come in our final table. So raw data, that is tru access underscore t underscore text underscore data. So you can see that this is type C of length 4096. So what it will do, it will actually pull everything in a normal text format. Basically it's a normal character format. So everything will be stored there in the character format. Okay. Now let's go and see the magic which this function module will do. So what we did, we called this function module in the start of selection. We will call another function module which will actually go and read that Excel sheet and pull the data from there. So let's write a perform f underscore get underscore data. So insert this in that 0, 1, 2, then call that function module text. Text convert XLS to SAP. The raw data which I just declared is it underscore raw. File name is p underscore file and converted should be it underscore file. So till now this is the expectation, because once we have the data from the Excel sheet in our hand, that is in some internal table, then we can play with it. So what we will do, so we'll put a breakpoint here. So I'm browsing this, selected this, execute. It will take me to debugging mode, and let's understand what happened. So now to F6 system, what exactly it will do, it will go pull every line one by one in character format and then segregate it based on our structure that was it underscore final, and then it will display the data in the required format. So let's just wait for this function module to be executed, and then we'll see the kind of output we get from it. We made a mistake, in fact, not we, I made a mistake. So the file name I gave in the inverted comma, which means system is considering it exactly the file name, while the file name is stored in p underscore file variable. So I should have passed the variable there. Execute this. We'll go in the debugging mode. Let's see now what is happening. Doing F6 here. So now you can see size of our is 0, which means something good happened. So this is my converted table. If I go inside this, I can see that it pulled everything from the Excel sheet. This is the header, then second to sixth, it's basically the data. So sounds good. I hope yes. So what you can do, you can do one more thing. You can tell the system that there is a header available in the file. Now you see the magic. So we have only 5 records, which means header is not there, which is not required for us actually. So we have the fields, proper fields here in the internal table. Oh, language is not there. So we didn't pass the language. Okay, let me pass the language because it was a mandatory one. I just need to pass it in the Excel sheet. Now, so we are thinking that, so we'll just assume that everything is fine till now. We got the data. It's now IT underscore final with initial. Then we will call the BDC. So calling the BDC is basically nothing but calling that recording which we created via SHDB. So basically calling that recording means calling that program. Now we'll do one thing. First thing we will do, we'll go inside this, go till the end, copy these two forms, and put it in your F0. Then come back, copy this recording starting from BDC din pro till the last OK code. Don't copy this one. Now what we are doing, so as of now what we have done is basically copied the exact recording. And then one more time we will go into our top. We'll declare one more internal table. So you already know that what is a BDC data. So IT underscore BDC data, type table of BDC data, IT underscore BDC data, type BDC data. Now we will just, wherever you see simple BDC data, make it WA BDC data because that is the way we work in normal real-time environment. So append this to earlier what they were doing, they were treating the internal table and work area both with the same name. So we are just segregating this by internal table and work area. So we did nothing, we copied the standard code. And if any of you is not getting what I am doing here, I mean even after repeating it for several times, drop me an email and I'll try to help you. So here if FOL not equal to no data, instead you can make it if it's not equal to space, which means there is a value in the field. So till now our code is fine. Now whatever we generated out of recording and we have copied here, we will call it in a loop. So loop at IT underscore final WA final. And obviously if there is a loop, it should be end loop. So now this code inside a loop, which means this code will run for 5 times, all the 5 records which I have in my IT final. But then I need to replace these things now because it's hard coded. I need to make it dynamic. So w final hyphen. I hope you're getting me. Hyphen. So replacing all the hard codes. We need a full stop here. So why we are doing it? So that every time we get the exact value from that for that particular customer available in that line. So we replaced all the hard-coded things via work area hyphen field name. So this way, whenever the loop will change, these values will be changed. So it will make sure that every time the new customer is created. Now, to run the BDC properly, because we are running recording of a transaction, we have the syntax. So anyway, we are done with this. I have opened one of my earlier code. So next is call transaction name using the BDC data internal table mode. Should be decided by us. So update its synchronous message into this. So again, let's create one more internal table and I will tell you the significance of that. Call transaction xt01. So what we are doing actually, we are passing everything. So we just stored everything in a particular place and then we are passing everything to xt01 transaction now by using this statement. So call transaction this using it underscore BDC data mode, let's say A means all screen, N means no screen, E means only error mode, only the screens where error comes. So mode A, update S means synchronous, messages into it underscore BDC MSGCOLL, which means if there are any error or success messages during that transaction execution for that particular customer, should be captured in BDC MSGCOLL. Sorry, it should be it underscore MSG, my mistake. So it should be captured in this. Now if I go here, if I go in the structure, it's a standard structure provided by SAP. Again, it's an interview question. Standard structure provided by SAP to capture the BDC messages. It could be error, it could be success, it could be warning, information, anything. it will capture the transaction name, basically the program name, screen number, message type, the message ID, and then messages here. But then again, the messages that will be captured in this needs to be formatted so that we can understand it. So first thing what we did, so this way you can call that this BDC is nothing but a call transaction method. So the other method we will discuss tomorrow. So we did this, and then what we will do, if so we'll see if there are any messages captured by system. If IT underscore MSG, if IT underscore MSG is initial, then what we will do, we will call a function module which will take all the details from this internal table as an input, and then what it will do, it will just convert it into a readable message. So we are passing, so we'll just call this function module here, loop at IT underscore MSG into W underscore MSG. So this is one function module, the other one is format underscore message. So again, it's an interview question. So W underscore MSG hyphen MSG ID underscore MSG hyphen MSG NR. So if we pass all the message variables, so what it will do, system will create a proper message for this using this function module. So let's see if we are able to get any message. So we did this, and then we want to capture that in a variable. So what he has done, he has created, this person, actually that is me only. So what this code has done, that we took a new internal table, we put one thing, create IT MSG1 W MSG1. So W underscore MSG1 hyphen MSG V1. So what we are doing here, so we are basically in the first field of that message variable, we are just capturing that message, and then append WMSGV1 to IT underscore. So we are just appending it into an internal table. So till now we are done. Let's see this end loop and this end loop. we will do, so we'll see that if this internal table actually contains any message, like in this code. So what we are doing, if this contains any message, so we are reading it with index 1. So if there is any message available in this internal table, we will just display this as an ALV output. MSG1 is niche error. We will call our favorite function module use ALV click display. We'll pass the minimum things here. Call by program structure name. Set structure name is BDC MSTCOLL. Call by program. So SIREP ID is nothing but the same program name. So this is how we create a simple BDC with call transaction mode. So okay, let's try to finish this in next 5 minutes. So now we will debug this and let's see what is happening. So we get the data, that is clear. Now we go inside the code. So we will call all the records one by one. So see, it will just push the data one by one. In fact, if you see here, now it's taking the data from our work area. So it's like dynamic now. Now, the moment we have the data completed for one, you can see program line begin, field name, field value, same thing is coming here. The same thing which we saw earlier. Now it will go and push it to the transaction. Now if I hit F6 here, since I have selected mode A, it will take me through all the screens. So this is very similar to my recording. So now it's trying to create a customer. So you can see that this message is there. Now this way it will ask me to run all the 5 records in foreground. Suddenly it got hanged. Oh my god. So what I need to do one more important thing here. So this important thing is missing there. So once I'm done with one transaction, I need to refresh the internal table so that it can pick the next transaction. Otherwise, every time what will happen, it will keep on increasing 1, 2 and 3. So it will create the duplicate records. Refresh IT underscore BDC data. So you saw that we were creating this in foreground. Now I'm doing it in background, which means mode N. I don't want to see anything in front of me. I just want to see the final output. Execute this. Select this. It will go in debugging. Will press F8. Let's see the output. So it captured a lot of messages. But then we are not getting everything, so I just moved it in the other work area. Now if we execute this, so you can see that we are getting more details now. So basically it executed this T code and then got this message. So today what we did, we created a simple BDC, very simple BDC of customer creation transaction XT01, and then we captured the messages out of it, and then we displayed those messages in front of you. So in the next session we will try to create a transaction via BDC which will have some table control, and then we will discuss some other concepts and then error handling. So this is again an interview question, how to handle the errors in BDC. So you can handle it using the structure BDC MSC COLM, which means BDC message collector. It will collect all the message. You can just display it in front of you. You can put more filters that only if there is an error message then only you display it, otherwise you don't display it. Something like that. So I'm feeling tired now. We'll pause the session and then we'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you.